Okay, my presentation is on the Deepwater Horizon oil spill funds. On April 20th, 2010, high-pressure methane gas was released from the seeped into the drilling rig where it ignited, causing an explosion to engulf the entire platform. 210 million gallons of oil was released into the Gulf Coast. There is a picture of where the oil rig was located off the coast of Louisiana. It gushed from April 20th to July 15th, spreading along the Gulf Coast. The Deepwater Horizon drilling rig was built and owned by Transocean and chartered by BP from March 2008 to September 2013 for a well project off the coast of Louisiana. BP was the principal shareholder who owned 65% of the shares. Transocean owned about 25% and MOEX Offshore owned 10%. Each company pled guilty and agreed to pay U.S. settlement fees. MOEX agreed to pay $90 million, Transocean $1.4 billion, and BP $4 billion. It was ruled that 4 entities would receive funding from the settlement fees, and those include the Resource and Ecosystem Sustainability Tourist Opportunity Act, RESTORE Act for short, the Oil Spill Liability Trust Fund, the National Academy of Sciences, and the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. The RESTORE Act is a Gulf Restoration Trust Fund providing funding to restore the Gulf Coast. 80% of that will go to the Clean Water Act penalties distributed among the 5 categories listed below. And then the other 20% will go to the Oil Spill Liability Trust Fund. The National Academy of Science is a nonprofit organization created by Congress to provide independent advice to the government in regards to research and science. Their priorities include environmental monitoring, research and development, and education and training. BP has agreed to pay $350 million in the next 5 years, and Transocean has agreed to pay $150 million in the next 4 years, effective February 14, 2013. The Oil Spill Liability Trust Fund is governed by the United States Coast Guard. It is a trust fund that will hold the taxes and penalties payments paid by the oil and gas companies. It is divided into 2 funds, the principal fund and the emergency fund. The principal fund is for the collection of taxes and recoveries and penalties, and then the emergency fund is for the actual removal of the oil. Lastly, the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation is also a nonprofit organization created by Congress to protect and restore the ecosystem. Below is a scheduled payment to each of the state. As you see, Texas will receive about $203 million. So what this means for Texas, in terms of funding. On May 2nd, 2013, the Texas Parks and Wildlife released a news statement stating that Texas will have 5 restoration projects out of the 28 restoration projects that were picked along the Gulf Coast for early restoration. These projects include two park restorations, one being Galveston Island State Park with $10.7 million. The other is the Sea Rim State Park amenities in Jefferson County, which will receive $210,000. The other 3 projects are reef development / restoration projects, and they are to restore reefs and enhancing reefs in the upper and mid coast, Brazoria County and Matagorda County. And that's it.